Hey everybody, DP, Orlando, Florida, and the Florida Film Festival. Opportunity to see 12 full-length features. I'll tell you about some of them that are worth seeing and worth talking about. About 20 short films, all of their own level and value. The arts are amazing, and I'm glad I get the opportunity to kind of indulge. But today I want to talk about a movie that touched my heart deeply. It's called Long Time Coming, through Strong Films, and it's about 1955 Little League baseball, where a black team from Pensacola, Florida, went through some issues in trying to play in a tournament to see whether they could advance to the Little League World Series. And there were, through the adults, there were some problems about whether black kids and white kids should play each other, could play each other, would play each other. Along the way, heroes are born, and society is exposed, and the games are played, and finally, through it all, the people who participated in the game, who were then 12 and now 60 some odd years later, get to revisit that time and revisit their thoughts, their feelings and emotions, and then they get to revisit their experiences. And through that, there are some amazing discussions that are held. While it is a baseball movie, and it is a sports movie, this documentary is about us. It's about us then, it's about us now, and all the time in between, and then what's next. What will we do next? Because what we did before, as Hamilton says, history has its eye on you. It pays attention to what you do. And the beauty of this movie was that the people were authentic. They were real. They were present in their conversations. They exposed parts of themselves that they may or may not have known were there. They told some truths that often shocked them. And it made me think back to my teammates and my friends who often were heroic by simply being a friend. And it exposed for some friends who, quite frankly, weren't comfortable with some things. And as a former baseball player, former athlete, former coach, being able to talk directly about often being the black person in, or one of several black people in predominantly white situations and conditions, that the biggest bridge that we all had to deal with was distance. Them not being familiar with me not being familiar with them, not understanding and thinking that my way is their way or their way should be my way. And they certainly knew less about me than I knew about them. And this movie does an amazing thing of having discussions and have these people expose themselves. And again, they found parts of themselves that they may not have known existed. And in the end, I said bravo. Bravo to the filmmakers, bravo to the people who played the game, for the young people who were stronger, wiser, and more brilliant than the adults who were supposed to be there to make sure this thing was right. The movie isn't about the game. It talks about it, but it's not about the game. At that level, it's never about the result. It's never about the score. It's about what you learn from it. And hopefully, after folks watch this movie, they'll learn something about themselves, they'll learn something about us, and they'll learn something about love. It's pretty amazing. I cried from the beginning to the end and several times in between. And at the end, I told the people who were there that I was thankful for them. Because without them, I probably wouldn't be a coach. I probably wouldn't have been a player. There's some truth to that. There's a lot of truth to that. I felt like I needed to honor them in some way. This is my little bit of honoring them. Thank you for being strong enough in 1955 to play a game that some adults said you shouldn't play with people you shouldn't play with or against. Thank you for being strong enough to play the game. Thank you for loving the game enough to play the game. And then thank you for loving us enough to expose parts of yourself that will be valuable for the rest of us to get better and to heal. Because in order to get this thing right, and we often do, We're going to have to be authentic. We're going to have to be loving. This is an amazing movie, and I can't wait for y'all to see it. Matter of fact, I'm planning to watch it with some teammates, from former teammates. Guys, we have a movie to watch together. You'll understand the moment the movie comes on. Bravo.